This is my fourth whisper, and I was gonna wait until a little later in the evening to do this, because as I said, I kind of like the quiet time between 10 and midnight. It's pretty much guaranteed to be quiet around here. I do have a 5-year-old boy that likes to tear through the house once in a while. It's about 20 after 4 in the afternoon. I was trying to do some college school work on my last 4 to 5 weeks of school, and I generally try to do this at this time or earlier, because I have more energy earlier in the day. But unfortunately, the college website is down again. It actually went down while I was taking an online test. It's been down more than it's been up this week, and it's kind of frustrating. But instead of getting angry, I decided to come on here and whisper and calm myself down, and hopefully kind of calm you all down too. At least, let you relax a little. I went with my wife to our ultrasound today. It was our second, and we found out that we're going to have a girl. It's definitely what my wife wanted. I didn't really have a preference because I have a daughter in my previous marriage and a 5-year-old son, but I was happy that it ended up being a girl, because then we right away went to the store and bought 3 or 4 girls' outfits. Everything else we had beforehand was unisex, yellows and greens primarily, a little bit of beige. And so next on the agenda is to decorate the baby's room. But anyway, as you've probably seen by now, I've added some pictures from my Mount Rushmore trip. These pictures were taken in September of 2010. And although I've been through this area a couple times as a kid and a young adult, I'd forgotten how big the mountains really are. I guess I don't really think of big mountains when I think of South Dakota. You think of Mount Rushmore, but I was really kind of surprised, especially the mountains around Deadwood, South Dakota. They were very big, and we actually went up the Mount Mora. I believe that's how it's pronounced. And there's a famous cemetery there on the mountain. A couple of famous people buried there are Calamity Jane and Wild Bill Hickok. I have to admit, yes, I knew of Deadwood beforehand, but till the HBO series, I believe it's HBO, it's either HBO or Showtime. Before that series Deadwood came out, I didn't really know a lot. I'd heard of Wild Bill Hickok, and I definitely knew about the Dead Man's Hand when he was playing poker. For anyone that might not know, someone came up behind him and shot him in the back of the head, and the cards that he was holding were aces and eights. So if you have aces and eights in your hand, you have what they call the Dead Man's Hand. But anyway, the town was pretty small. Actually, it's really nestled in between these fairly good-sized mountains on all sides. It's a small valley. Really, you got one main road highway that goes through there, and they might have, it wasn't many side streets, perhaps 3 or 4 on each side, maybe. And even these were getting started at the base of the mountains, and you were going up. They were so steep going up to steep inclines. It wasn't on the way up, it was on the way down. And I'm talking pretty steep. I mean, I'm talking like the hills of San Francisco. It was very steep. Anyway, Deadwood has a lot of what they call casinos. Since this was a family trip, I didn't get to go into any saloons or casinos. But from the look of them, they are what I really would call a true casino. They're very small, or at least most of the ones that I saw were very small. Like perhaps a lobby area of a hotel, or along the wall of a bar. I actually saw that in a place we stopped to eat, and they called it a casino as well. To me, a casino is a dedicated building or buildings with maybe a bingo hall and some hotels. They're generally pretty big. Some have their own parking garages, and usually have very large, almost like stadium-sized parking lots. And I'm not in a particularly big population-wise state, but the casinos around here, you probably wouldn't have to go more than 40 or 50 miles to find a casino, and they're big. Even in the rural areas, they're quite large. So I really didn't think of these as true casinos, but they might have a different, obviously have a different way of looking at it in South Dakota. Well, I think I'm going to end this for now, because we're about up to 8 minutes, and I'll get this posted. As always, feel free to leave me comments.